I भेज दिया
So at the top we have the source.
Yes, sir.
Source. What is the source type? It's the field emission. Field emission, Schottky field emitter. So this is the electron column basically. Am I audible, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is the electron column. We have we could not see here, but we have the condenser lens, then the objective lenses. So this is the electron column and the source is here. This is known as the chamber where we put our sample, keep our sample, and these are the ports on the door and the chamber where you can integrate your future detectors.
Okay.
And these are few detectors are already here. So these are the in-lens detector. In-lens means which are positioned or kept in the column. So in-lens, AC, ESB, energy, those detectors are detectors positioned in the column, actually kept in column. And so these two detectors are AC and BAC. This one is the this one is the BAC. You can see it from here. This one is the BAC and this one is the AC detector that we have. And this one is the STEM detector. And these are the two analytical detectors present over here. One is EDS and another one is EBSD. This is basically the high vacuum system. High vacuum means chamber, column and field emission gun should be kept in high vacuum. So to maintain that high vacuum, we have three sets of pump present in the system. Number one is the rotary pump, which you can see outside, the FACM. Outside, this one is the rotary pump. Just below that column, we have the TMP, turbomolecular pump, and to maintain the vacuum in field emission gun, we have the ion getter or ion gun pump. So these three pumps are available into the system. For the venting purpose, so venting means to keep the chamber is in high vacuum, so we need to vent it for the sample exchange. For that particular venting, we have the nitrogen gas over there.
Yes.
Nitrogen gas cylinder. And compressor, this one is the compressor and the chiller is there. Chiller and compressor are also present in this particular system. Just a brief overview why chiller is important. Chiller is important because since it's the electron beam accelerated at 30 kV, some heat is generated. Now there are other systems, other AVSM systems present in the market. They may not require that particular chiller actually. But why JICE system actually provided the chiller is because it gives some sort of a thermal stability to the electron column. And since it is thermally stable, the electron beam is very stable. And if you have the very stable electron beam, then your analytical results, also the imaging results, the accuracy improves. So this is the brief overview of the equipment. Any question, please interrupt me.
Yeah, sure.
Sample is there already. You are the already. आप एक बार समझ लें क्योंकि अगर अंदर आया और हम लोग निकलने जाए तो बाहर ही है ना. Software that we are using is known as a SmartSem software, basically. This is actually the control panel by which we control the several parameters of the electron beam. Here we have this like beam control EST on and off. we have the EST target value, so you can increase and decrease you can change the EST voltage basically. Now from the wrong side there you can see that to control the beam current there are plenty of apertures are available. So these are the aperture settings. We in this particular system we have the 6 apertures starting from 10 up to 300. So basically during the standard imaging we are using the 30 micron. For very high resolution low kV you can keep on going down 20 and 10. Generally 30, 20, 10 are good enough for the imaging. We don't go beyond that for imaging. Generally I am telling. For 60 micron we sometimes use for the EDS analysis where high current is required. So sometimes it happens that suppose you are taking one image at a low kV for the beam sensitivity sample and you want to analyze it with your EDS. Now for the EDS you need a substantial amount of excess signals, otherwise its accuracy won't be good. So for that purpose you can use the the aperture size to be more. So that time you can use the higher aperture, or there is an option called this high current option. So basically it gives you the more current at that particular accelerating voltage. You want to add anything, you can interrupt me. Yeah. So this is the thing, the variable pressure options that we have here. So VP option is present, but the VP option is I think up to 60 Pascal, right?
Yeah.
Up 60 Pascal. So up to 60 Pascal. You understand why the 60 Pascal is required? So basically what we do when you are analyzing the biological sample, you cannot do it in the high vacuum. Why? Because your sample will be losing his native state. So if you want to analyze your biological sample in the original states, you need to insert the nitrogen gas into the system. So that particular vacuum level is up to 60 Pascal. You can achieve and do your analysis.
Here HV stands for high vacuum.
High vacuum. So these are few alignment controls that you are getting: the extremator, aperture, beam offset. So
60 Pascal need for the EV biological sample. It is the standard value or
no, so you can vary from I think 10 Pascal to 60 Pascal. You can vary any value up with a step size of 1 Pascal. 10, 11, 12. I mean you can vary. So it is actually a bit important question. All the sample does not need 60 Pascal. 60 Pascal is the maximum vacuum level that you can achieve near VP mode.
Okay.
Mostly we see 10 to 30 Pascal should be more than enough for the most of the sample. But how did you understand at which low vacuum level that you are going to analyze? It depends on the water content of your sample. That is, how sensitive the sample is. From that you can choose your
Sir, in case of hydrogen.
Hydrogen.
Yes, sir. So what we can do in case of hydrogen, if we are working with hydrogen?
What is variable pressure?
Variable pressure
or
as well
it is
as
high vacuum. Which one will be used?
But hydrogen is in your sample.
Hydrogel.
Hydrogel. Okay. Hydrogel. No, VP. VP mode I think you should be using. But what is the state of the sample? It's
Solid.
mostly the semi-liquid, right?
No, sir, solid. Solid.
Then in that case, if it is a solid, in that case you can use the low kV. In a high vacuum you can use the low kV, right? Yeah.
Sir, actually hydrogel is applicable on various applications in biological as well as in battery and everything. So is there any variation?
Sorry,
Conducting as well as biological sample, they can vary in hydrogel.
right.
Okay,
So yes, it will be varied. So depending on the nature of the surface, you have to use the HV mode and the VP mode. In HV mode, most likely you have to use your low kV. That is, you cannot go beyond a certain kV because it will burn out the sample.
having said that means not all samples it must be of some other than SEM. We still have optical microscope. We still have, we call it environmental as SEM.
SEM.
They have a lower vacuum requirement and so on. So not everything you must put it here, because if not you will be very unhappy when something spoils, right? Yeah. So we must think what we want to see, because sometimes the scale you only need 100 magnification. Why you need this? This can go 1 million, right? So there's
So the second control we have is this imaging control, where the scan speed you can vary. That is, there is a scanner in the system. I mean, you can scan the sample. So when you are taking the final image, you have to scan very slow to get the maximum clarity of the image basically. And for the generally when there is some standard noise reduction algorithms are provided into the system. So when you are taking the live image, when you are observing the image, one particular noise reduction techniques you use, but when you are doing the final image capture, some other noise reduction softwares are available. We will show that particular thing. Again, some few parameters for this brightness control, contrast control, and all those things are there. Gun, again this EST KV, and this particular control we generally do not vary that much. That is more or less fixed. Vacuum. So this is the signal. This EST vac ready until and unless it is yes. We generally cannot even start the imaging process. And as you see, this system vacuum, this particular vacuum level is the chamber vacuum level, and this gun vacuum level is the gun level. The vacuum level in the gun, the FE gun. So basically, due to the presence of the ion getter pump, we can achieve that particular vacuum level 10 to the minus 9 millibar. So again, this is the stage position. In the stage we have the sample holder, and we will keep our sample onto the stage basically. So these are few controls. Next thing we can first we keep the sample and then we can show basically. वो on है ना? वो always on है ना? You stand to continuously. Yeah, I know. नाइट्रोजन है ना? Not even the sample, it's basically the EBSD holder, right? It's basically the EBSD holder. So the holder is quite big, and here we have the 70-degree tilted holder basically. Just quickly, we should not keep this chamber in a air for a longer period of time. So briefly, so basically when we are exchanging the sample, we must be a bit careful, so that the sample, all the holders should not touch the objective piece. This objectives, this is the pole piece, basically the final part of the electron column. Oh, this is easy. A sample holder, and these things are known as stubs. These things are known as stubs. So here, this on the stubs we put our sample. Maybe you cannot see the samples because samples are prepared. If you remember what samples are there.
Black.
No, the black ones is the carbon tape. So what Ron has told during the for sample preparation, we have to use as minimum as possible. If you want to really see the nanostructure or the powder's structures, then the powder content that we are using here should be as minimum as possible. You do not have to see the powder here because this is made for the electron microscope, not for the eyes. Okay.
Restrict the garment. I don't know what here is.
Because I need to bring the sample.
Yeah.
जरूरी एक्चुअली जरूरी उतना भी जरूरी भी नहीं इंस्टॉल स्टेम डिटेक्टर